Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to my new video. And today we are gonna learn 20 very useful English idioms for happiness, sadness, fear, and life situation. So, without any kind of delay, we are moving to our new lecture. Okay, so today's lecture is based on informal impression that is called idiomatic expressions. Whenever we were going through like the band descriptor in the last class, we used to see like band 7 and band 8 and band 9 who claims for idiomatic expressions. So what is actual idiomatic expression, right? So whenever we are trying to use some it is not only like idioms or but also phrases, but I think it's more like expression. So something you are trying to say in this way, it doesn't mean like the exact thing. Like here we are trying to discuss something about this. So let's get started with happiness related idioms. So whenever you are trying to express yourself, you are now very happy or you are feeling elated. So in this time, or how can you normally express yourself without saying I'm elated? Okay, for this section, like these are the happiness idioms, whatever we are saying. The first one is seventh heaven. So seventh heaven means extremely happy. For example, when I got that job offer, I was in seventh heaven. This means you are feeling very good. But here you never said something like this: I was happy or I felt good, without describing something or without using those common words. Instead of, you are using idiomatic expression. Okay, so in that case you have a great chance to get a good band score for the IELTS speaking test. Okay, so instead of using seventh heaven, you can also use here over the moon. Okay, so over the moon means the same, like very happy or excited. For example, she was over the moon after receiving her scholarship. And instead of using over the moon or seventh heaven, you can also use here on cloud nine. It also means like feeling very happy. For example, they were on cloud nine after their wedding. So here we almost get three types of or three types, three ways to express yourself. You are in a happiness mood. Okay, so now let's talk about the fourth one. This is a little bit different comparatively to others because full of beans. Whenever you are trying to describe yourself, you are like feeling very energetic or cheerful. Sometimes you can also express yourself. Okay, I feel confident. That times you can use here full of beans. The kids were full of beans during the picnic. Okay, so whenever you are feeling confident, that time you may use this kind of idioms. Okay, so the next one is about calmness or self-control related idioms. So here we can see the first one is keep my cool. Here you can just my, instead of using my, if whenever you are talking to others, use his, their, like this pronouns you have to use based on the pronoun. Okay, so it means stay calm under pressure. For example, even during the argument, he kept his cool. Normally, during any kind of argument, whatever we are doing, we normally show our grievance, or sometimes we feel very disturbed, something like this, right? So instead of showing their grievance, they are very cool. So here you can use this idiom for showing your lexical resources. Okay, and the next one is elephant memory. So it's a very, very common and easiest part. I would say it's one of the easiest parts or idiomatic expressions. Okay, so when you should use elephant memory? Okay, sometimes the examiner asks about your daily life or daily routine. The time you can mention elephant memory. For example, do you prefer making notes or note, something like this. So in that case, to be very honest, I think I really love to make notes because I believe I don't have an elephant memory. Here, what does it mean? Elephant memory means you have a very strong and sharp memory. You can easily memorize or you can easily remember anything, and you don't need to put it down on your paper or on your screen, something like this. So here, if you don't have an elephant memory, yeah, you can use, I don't think so. I don't have an elephant memory. Yet obviously you have use an article. Okay. So if you have, you can use, yeah, I have an elephant memory. And if you don't have, you can say, I don't think so. I don't have an elephant memory. And that's why I have to put everything down on my paper. Okay. So let's talk about confusion or indecision related idioms. Whenever you are lost your minds or you got confused with something, in that case you can use in two minds. In two minds means you are unable to decide or confused between two choices. Okay, so in two minds, when you should use, whenever you cannot decide or you are completely unable to decide or to choose something. Sometimes you are really going with this one, and sometimes you are going with the other ones. So you are completely messed up with two choices. So for example, I'm in two minds about applying to this university because you have two choices and you really want to visit two of them. Okay, so it's really critical moment. Okay, we can also express this in a very easy word, that is volatile situation. You are not fixed with something. Sometimes you are going with this, sometimes you are going with the other things. Okay, and the next one is very easy. Let's talk about similarity or friendship idioms. So here we can see like two peas in a pod. That means those are very similar. Okay, so those are very similar means like two people who are very similar. Either they look very similar, or their appearance, or their personality. Okay, so the twins are like two peas in a pod. Twins means normally those look very similar. Sometimes their personality also is very similar. Okay, so this is called like two peas in a pod. Okay, so this can be all. You can also use bars of a feather flock together instead of using two peas in a pod. So bars of a feather flock together. So here there is a difference a little bit, like people with similar interests stay together. All the book lovers sat together, birds of a feather flock together. So those who have similar interest, like whenever you are preparing yourself for applying for a PhD degree in the US or another country, whatever it is, you try to fix or you try to search some professors who have the similar interest, like which really match with you, right? So this kind of thing we can say here, birds of a feather flock together, because both of you have similar interest or same interest. Okay, you are working in the same field. Okay, so the next one is hit it off. Hit it off is also a very common idiomatic expression here, to become friends quickly or immediate connection. So, for example, we met at a conference and instantly hit it off. Sometimes we can easily relate it with extroverted person, like who are very much extroverted, like who are a people person, right? They can easily hit it off. They never met together earlier, but yeah, as they are very extroverted and they have similar interest. Okay, here we can use both of them together. Like they have, like they are very I think they are very similar person, like bars of a feather flock together, and that's why they just instantly hit it off. Okay, so as they have similar interest, uh, there has no barrier to hit it off. Okay, and the next one is great difference idiom. It is completely the opposite type of idiomatic expression of like two peas in a pod, that is like night and day. Okay, so for example, it means two things that are completely different. For example, their personalities are like night and day. Okay, night and day. So it means completely different. For example, whenever the examiner asks you about, okay, what do you think? Do you look like your parents? That time you can use both of them, like two peas in a pod, and like night and day. How you can use them, right? So to be very honest, whenever it comes about appearance, I would say we are like two peas in a pod. That means appearance or external appearance, whatever it is, you are completely similar. But whenever it comes about personality, I would say we are like night and day. That means you are comparing yourself with your parents. Whenever you are describing yourself with your external appearance, you have completely similarities, or you are completely similar. You look like similar. There is no difference, but it doesn't mean you don't have any disagreement or different feeling or something like this. So whenever you are discussing your internal appearance or internal feeling like this, you say, I think we are like a night and day, because you say it is right, but your parents say it is wrong or it is left. So it's a kind of that kind of thing. So okay. So the next one is loyalty or a strong bond related idioms. Okay. So through thick and thin. You can also use it whenever you are mentioning something like during your cue card, describe a person who motivates you or who motivated you during your entire life. That time you are mentioning such a person who really stands up or who really stood up through thick and thin. For example, today I'm gonna talk about my mother, because she always motivated me through thick and thin, because she always stays together in good and bad times. Or if you are mentioning something like today I'm gonna talk about my father or my school friend, so in that case you can also mention this idiomatic expression. Okay, so the next one is forgetfulness idiom. So here idiom is out of sight, out of mind. Okay, here you can also use or pronounce out of sight, out of mind. But whenever you are pronouncing or you are uttering this properly, out of sight, out of mind, this sounds more natural. Okay, out of sight, out of mind, it's perfect. But if you are trying to say it perfectly, it yeah, you can use or you can utter this out of sight, out of mind. That means if something's not visible, it's easy to forget. Okay, so the example is once he moved abroad, it became out of sight, out of mind. Someone who just left the country, if you don't have any kind of contact with the person, it's very natural, like yeah, it became out of sight or out of sight, out of mind. Okay, so it's really important to keep in touch with the right person always. Okay, so the next one is avoidance related idioms. Okay, so avoidance means here I just mentioned one idiomatic expression, that is beat around the bush. Okay, beat around the bush. So whenever you are just trying to say something but you cannot say it properly, rather than you speak another issues. Okay, so you are trying to avoid the main point. In that case, you you may use this, okay, beat around the bush. When the examiner asks about anything like, do you prefer coffee or tea? You have to answer it properly. Like, to be very honest, what I would say, I would go for coffee because it really helps me to recharge my batteries or to stay calm down me. Okay, so it's really perfect to answer it in this way properly. But instead of saying or answering, I don't like both of them, yeah, that's perfect. But you have to mention this. Instead of saying like, I prefer tea or coffee, you are just saying, I prefer junk food because those are very healthy and delicious to me. It really doesn't matter whatever you are saying or whatever you are or whatever you just love to take, right? Instead of tea or coffee, it really doesn't matter. The examiner asks about tea or coffee. The examiner doesn't ask about junk food or other food, right? So yeah, you can develop your answer in this way, but you have to answer it perfectly or properly, whatever, and how it connects with other food. Okay, so don't beat around the bush. Okay, stop beating around the bush. Tell me what happened. Tell me what exactly your preference. Okay, so the next idiom is none other than avoidance related idioms. I think I just repeated. Okay, just my apology. So skip this idiom because I already discussed this. So the next one is courage idiom. Okay, courage related idiom is bite the bullet, something that is very difficult, but you have already done this or you have to do this. You are in very difficult situation, but you know you can achieve this. Okay, or you have done this or you wanna do this. For example, like you are now like in your thesis or you are now working on your thesis or monograph or something like this. So in that case, okay, to be very honest, I have to bite the bullet because it is very tiresome work and I cannot do this properly without the assistance of my supervisor. So you have to bite the bullet. You have to face the difficult situation, right? So if you wanna use it in the past, how can you use it? Like here, I just put an example here. I finally bit the bullet and started working on my thesis. It means you already faced a difficult situation. Okay, so the next one is hard work related idioms. Sometimes we are trying our best to achieve something. Okay, so in that case, don't use repeatedly hard work. I'm a hardworking person. I really love to do hard work. Something like this. Don't repeat this. Okay, it doesn't sound natural and it sounds or it shows your lack of lexical resources. So here is a great chance to show up yourself. Yeah, the IELTS speaking test is not the test for showing up your lexical resources. But yeah, as it has 25% of your total mark, you have to use some idiomatic expression. Not many, but as much as you can. Those are completely relevant to your speaking test. Okay, so here you can use burn the midnight oil. Like, it means work late night, late into the night. Yeah, burn the midnight oil means, yeah, it means hard work, but till late night. She burned the midnight oil to finish the assignment. She burned the midnight oil to finish the assignment. So here, like whenever I was a graduate student, I had to burn the midnight oil to complete my assignment or to complete my thesis. So here's something you are doing till midnight. Okay, so in that case you can use burn the midnight oil. Okay, burn the midnight oil. Okay, so the next one is excellent or amazing related idiom. Okay, whenever you are just taking some food and that smell is really good. Okay, here we can use out of this word it also means like something is very delicious. You don't need to repeat delicious, amazing. You can instead of say here out of this world. That means it's really or extremely good. The food at the restaurant was out of this world. Okay, the food at that restaurant was out of this world. Okay, so I read out loud. Okay, and the next one is trend or following others related idioms. Okay, it's very common and it's very natural. We really love to go with the flow. Yeah, go with the flow is another idiom. But yeah, you can also use here jump on the bandwagon. It means join something because it's very popular. Everyone is using that app, so I jumped on the bandwagon too. Okay, whenever anything comes new in the market or any kind of dress, you really love to jump on the bandwagon, right? So yeah, it's very trendy, and that's like as I'm a very fashion related, or I really love to fashion, and in that case I try to this dress, and this mainly happens to me because I love to jump on the bandwagon. Okay, you wanna purchase something that is completely new to the market because you love to jump on the bandwagon. Okay, the next one is break the ice. Break the ice. Okay, so here you have to pronounce it break the ice, not break the ice, because when the word starts with a vowel, and you have to use it the, not the. So here you have to pronounce it the the. So break the ice. So it means start a conversation to make people feel comfortable. Okay, so you just visit some places or you visit a new place, but you cannot start the conversation. So in that case, what should you do, right? So in that case, if you wanna break the ice or start your conversation, you may use some comedy, or you may introduce yourself first to break the ice. Okay, so in this way you can continue the conversation with that person. Okay, and if you can do this first of and I think if you can do this properly, you can easily hit it off, right? Whatever we learned a few moments ago. Okay, the next one is blessing in disguise. Something, or sometimes we feel like that is bad. Okay, but a few moments later we feel like, okay, that is really good. Whatever Allah does, it is really best for us. Okay, so it means a blessing in a disguise. Okay, so for example, losing the job was a blessing in disguise. It led me to a better opportunity. Okay, so whenever the person lost his job or lost their job, he felt like, okay, it was very sad. Maybe he lost everything, but whenever he could explore, or he could explore various opportunities, he felt like, okay, it was a blessing in disguise. Okay, the next one is a piece of cake. A piece of cake means very easy. Okay, the exam was a piece of cake for me. Okay, here, okay, A. So the exam was okay. So the next one is break a leg. Break a leg doesn't mean something your leg has been broken. It doesn't mean, okay, jokes apart. It means good luck. I believe here most of the students are the IELTS candidate. So break a leg. You have your IELTS speaking test tomorrow. Break a leg. Okay, you wanna congratulate, or you wanna give someone good wishes. Okay, that time you can say break a leg. And the next one is night owl and early bird. Both are completely interlinked. Here, I believe most of the students are night owl because a person who stays up late and feels more active at night. Okay, those are called night owl. I'm a night owl. I do my best work after midnight. Okay, by the way, I think I'm not an night owl, rather than I'm an early bird. Okay, let's talk about early bird. A person who wakes up early and feels active in the morning. Okay, whenever a person who really wakes up early in the morning, those are called early birds. She's an early bird. To be very honest, I'm an early bird, not a night owl. Okay, you can also use it in your IELTS speaking test. Okay, it's very easy to use. And the last but not the least is hit the sack. Hit the sack means go to sleep, go to bed. Okay, so hit the sack. I'm so tired today. I think I will hit the sack early. Okay, so this is all for today. I believe you really enjoyed a lot, and let me know if you have any kind of question regarding today's 20 useful English idioms. Yeah, I have some tips for you. Don't try to memorize these idioms. Rather, you try to understand what does it mean and try to use it very naturally, such as you just have to understand what does it mean and try to use it in different tenses like present indefinite, present continuous, present perfect, and for very simple tenses, past simple, future simple, it's very easy to use. So I believe you can do this very easily. And yeah, obviously, do subscribe and share it with your friends. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum again.